With just a $200 difference, these two laptops trade blows so closely that every detail could tip the balance. You're choosing between the Zenbook's Snapdragon X and the MacBook Air's Apple M5 with 10 cores, which handles heavier multitasking more smoothly in practice. The MacBook Air's 10-core setup, higher 4.61 GHz clock, and 3 nanometers process sound impressive, but these numbers aren't directly comparable to the Zenbook's 8 cores, 3.0 GHz, and 4 nanometers process. What matters is that the MacBook Air consistently finishes demanding tasks faster, so your editing or coding sessions feel less interrupted. Every benchmark here shows the MacBook Air pulling ahead, with the biggest lead in single-core tests and a clear advantage across the board. Zenbook uses the Adreno X1-45, while MacBook Air has the Apple M5 GPU, both integrated designs. On paper, the teraflops numbers are 1.7 for Zenbook and 4.1 for MacBook Air, but these aren't directly comparable. Real-world graphic speed will depend more on software support and how your favorite apps are optimized for each. A 14-inch screen fits more easily in tight spaces, but 15.3 inches gives you a bit more room for multitasking. OLED on the Zenbook delivers deeper blacks and more vivid colors, while the MacBook Air's IPS LCD is less striking, and the higher 2880 by 1864 resolution on the MacBook Air means sharper detail than the Zenbook's 1920 by 1200. Both displays refresh at 60 Hz, so motion smoothness is identical. Both Zenbook and MacBook Air reach 500 nits, so sunlight readability is identical, and neither offers a touchscreen. HDR is supported on both, but MacBook Air uses Dolby Vision while Zenbook supports HDR10. Most users won't notice a difference. Glossy coatings mean reflections are similar on both screens, so you'll need to angle them away from bright lights. Where MacBook Air stands out is pixel density. 224 pixels per inch versus Zenbook's 162 pixels per inch, so text and images look sharper throughout your day. MacBook Air gives you 66.5 watt-hours compared to Zenbook's 48, so you can stay unplugged longer during travel or meetings. Zenbook charges at up to 100 watts, while MacBook Air tops out at 70, but both use USB-C for charging. If you want to last through a full day without hunting for outlets, MacBook Air's bigger battery makes that easier. You get 8 GB of RAM as standard with the Zenbook, while the MacBook Air ships with 16 GB at this price, so you can keep more apps open without slowdowns. Both use LPDDR5X memory, and neither is upgradable after purchase, so you'll want to pick the right amount from the start. That extra memory in the MacBook Air's base configuration means smoother multitasking as your day gets busier. Both offer 512 GB of storage as standard at this price, using M.2 SSDs with NVMe support. The Zenbook does let you upgrade storage after purchase, while the MacBook Air does not. That means if your needs grow, only the Zenbook lets you expand without replacing the entire laptop. Zenbook is much lighter at 0.9 kilograms, while MacBook Air is thinner at 11.5 millimeters. Both use aluminum builds, so the materials feel equally premium in hand. If you want the lightest laptop to carry all day, Zenbook changes how effortless your bag feels. Both offer Wi-Fi 7, so your wireless experience will be the same no matter which you choose. Bluetooth is 5.4 on the Zenbook and 6.0 on the MacBook Air, but you won't notice a difference day to day. You get 2 USB 4.0 ports and Thunderbolt 4 support on both, so your high-speed accessories work seamlessly. Each has a headphone jack, so you can plug in wired audio without carrying an extra dongle. Zenbook and MacBook Air both offer a backlit island keyboard, but Zenbook gives you 1.3 millimeters of key travel, while MacBook Air has 1 millimeter, so your fingers get a bit more cushion with Zenbook during long typing sessions. Neither laptop includes a numpad, and both feature a 1080p FHD webcam for video calls. MacBook Air adds a fingerprint sensor, which means quicker logins if you use that feature. If you care most about typing comfort, Zenbook's extra key travel makes a difference you'll feel throughout your workday. With 4 CPU options instead of 1, you get more flexibility to match your workload and budget right from the start. Zenbook also gives you 8 GB, 16 GB, or 32 GB of RAM and 512 GB or 1 TB of storage, while MacBook Air offers 16 GB, 24 GB, or 32 GB of RAM and 512 GB, 1 TB, or 4 TB of storage. So the real difference is how many ways you can tailor the machine to your needs. Zenbook is $1,099. MacBook Air is $1,299, a $200 gap. The MacBook Air costs more for stronger benchmarks, more memory, and longer battery life, but Zenbook wins on price. The Zenbook comes in gray, the MacBook Air in black, silver, and blue. Both prices are in the description. Zenbook is for buyers who want a lighter laptop with an OLED panel, upgradable storage, and a keyboard that feels better to type on, all at a lower price. Skip it if you need the fastest performance, longest battery life, or more memory for heavy multitasking. The honest hesitation. It ships with just 8 GB of RAM at this price, which limits heavy multitasking. MacBook Air is for users who demand top-tier performance, long battery life, and more memory right out of the box. Perfect for those who multitask heavily or need all-day reliability. If you care most about a lighter chassis, an OLED panel, or want to spend less, skip MacBook Air. You pay $200 more and give up an OLED panel for the price. Which would you pick, the Zenbook or the MacBook Air, and why? Drop a comment, like the video, and subscribe to Computer Matrix for more honest laptop comparisons.